Hi everybody, thank you so much for braving the weather. We've been planning this for about 4.5 months, and I don't think in 4.5 months we've had much rain. No. But it's an afternoon, and not only raining today, but raining coming in at 3 o'clock. But I'm sure you all don't mind going outside at some point, and if you need any more suitable clothing, we've got some outdoor wear here. So if you need to stay behind and ask for some clothing, don't hesitate to do so. I'm Bridget Frampton. I'm the coordinator for Learning Outside the Classroom for Southend Education Trust. What we try to do is to encourage teachers, staff at school to take children outside of the classroom. It can be other parts in the school building, the school grounds, using the local area or even further afield, because we all know that outside learning children are more motivated, it's often more purposeful. And I'm delighted that we can use this centre here today, because one of our aims is to also make people familiar what there is, what the facilities are in Southend.
I'm Rupert Snow, I'm head teacher at Bournemouth Junior School, and I'm working with Southend Education Trust to try and encourage more schools to use the outdoor environment. And today we're looking specifically at the area and the environs around Southend Marine Activity Centre and the whole use of the beachfront in order to develop children's abilities right across the curriculum. But also in many ways developing just their understanding of their own local area, because so many children live in Southend but don't actually access the local area anything like as much as they could do, for all sorts of reasons, including fear, parental fear, and just not realising what's on their doorstep.
I'd just like to show you a little inkling of how much hidden history there is around Southend seafront, and get you thinking a little bit, because let's face it, you had a hard day in the classroom, you probably want to get the brain moving in. Have you all seen these on the seafront? You all know what they are? You're not too sure. Well, if you look close up, on them there's this lovely little plaque basically saying that they were part of the defences in World War II. During World War II, they didn't want the Germans to invade, so they built lots and lots of these blocks to stop the Germans coming over the seawall. These are the last remaining ones. The rest have all been removed, okay? So that's something a lot of people have heard of. However, opposite it is this. There are the blocks. We're talking now just the Thorpe Bay side of the Sea Life Centre. Okay, that's where we are. If you're heading that way on your way home tonight, look out for that. Opposite it, we've got this brick wall. Anyone guess what that is? This is a good one to do with the children if they're down on the seafront. Any thoughts what on earth this might be? It looks like a letterbox, it isn't.
Look out.
Yeah. This is actually a home guard post. There's still a home guard post on the seafront. Fantastic. So you've got the bit which is all obvious with the plaque. You've got the home guard post here. But, okay, that's pretty good. Let's move down the coast to Clevedon Road very quickly, which is the Thorpe Bay direction. And in Clevedon Road, look, here, there seem to be marks on the road. Any guesses what they might be? We're talking World War II again.
Bombs land
No, not that. It's a good guess. Good guess. Like it. No, that not.
Posts in the holes. Yeah.
They were anti-tank defences. They were basically designed to block the road for tanks moving inland. And it shows you that the road hasn't been resurfaced since about 1945. And there are actually 2 roads that have still got these in. But when you're working with the children, there's all this history hidden away there.
All children benefit, but there are certain children who benefit exponentially from these kind of experiences. But you then take it back into the classroom. If you're studying looking at poetry, and you get the opportunity to bring children down and stand out here where it rains lashing the beach and there's spray flying everywhere, and then you go back and look at poetry, all I need is a tall ship and a star to steer her by, and the wind's like a whetted knife. That wasn't written by somebody who lived his whole life in a box watching a screen. That was written by somebody who'd experienced it. And the same is true for children. It lifts everything to a complete different sphere.
Well, today we're organising a network meeting. We have these every half term, and the whole point of the network meetings is to gather teachers together and to provide them with some work to do back in school, because we're trying to encourage taking children outside into the environment. It's all about learning outside the classroom, and we also want to encourage a partnership with Southend Museums, where they're obviously doing exactly the same thing, trying to provide more facilities for children to come out of the classroom and experience more lifelike opportunities, really. Children find it boring if they're in the classroom the whole time. By coming out of the classroom and actually having a hands-on experience, being outside, they just find it not only more enjoyable but has more impact on their learning as well. Looking at something in a book is okay, but actually being outside, touching it, feeling it, and seeing sometimes the environment at different times of the year, even in the rain, it creates a different environment. Look at the lightning, the sky, and actually at one point we had black, the sea was black, if you noticed it. So that's our aim, because we know that children become more motivated with their learning, it makes it more purposeful. Ofsted now are very keen, again they're actually saying that they expect children to be outside, to do field trips, to do their science outside. And obviously as they grow up and go to secondary schools, it's a great basis. They start in primary schools, so when they go to field trips, when they go into secondary schools and universities, they're much more familiar with the skills that they need.
At the moment, this talk is normally Key Stage 1 and 2. By all means, we will adapt. If a particular school group wants to do it, we can adapt it, change it, add to it, take away from it. It's pretty much open to any age group.
In fact, one of the things we are considering at the moment is we would like to incorporate obviously the Beecroft and its art of the estuary. And then it's the debate, particularly for the younger little legs, of the walk from Beecroft into the centre. So this is something which we're reviewing and experimenting with at the moment. But I suppose core Key Stage 2, but adaptable to 1 or 3, 4 without any real problem. Or even, to be honest, adult groups. I mean, we're not so much maybe the handling session, although...
I don't know. It's good. I think it's good fun, because I like to keep it down on that level. It makes it a lot easier.
It's where we were evolved to be. You know, nobody evolved to be inside a box, inside glass and looking out at windows. We actually feel very naturalised on the environment, and we've had governors watch children in the school working outside of the classroom who are amazed at how well behaved children are, how careful they are with each other, how respectful they are towards each other and towards the environment. And if we lose that, we sacrifice. You know, there are a number of children who simply don't get on with working on any level inside.
And it shows